Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really hope you're all doing okay and having a great day and an amazing week. My name is Effy and today we're just going to be testing some new makeup. It's not exactly new to the world, it's just new to me. I've started with a completely fresh face. Again, let me know if you prefer to start fresh face or with the makeup already on. It's completely up to you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. I put up one video a week and it's always makeup content, so if that sounds like the type of thing, then this is the place for you. But other than that, let's get on with it. I'm going to start by saying I don't have a complete full face. I don't have a full face of everything. I think I'm missing a concealer, a powder, some other stuff. We'll see how that goes. I'll see what I have in my drawers to test. But let's make a start. I'm going to start with primer. And we have the Collection Gorgeous Glow Filter Finish Complexion Boosting Primer and Illuminator. This scares me. I have the shade Fair 1. This is meant to be a dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury. We've seen it everywhere. It comes on a doe foot. I'm just using my Pastels palette as a mirror because I need to buy a new mirror. Like I said, this scares me, but we'll give it a go. Oh, that looks a bit weird. Okay, that looks a bit better. It's a lot thicker than I was expecting. I don't know how much to use. That, I guess, we'll put on more if we need it. I'm going to go in with a brush because, I don't know, it just feels like a brush sort of product. This is just a duo fibre brush where like there's shorter black hairs and longer white hairs. I just like using this for primer. I've definitely got more of a glow. Definitely got more of a glow. I can't see any glitter particles or anything like that. Because it does have a bit of a shade to it, I feel like it's a little bit noticeable. In terms of coverage, I wouldn't say it really has any. Like, it hasn't really given me any coverage. Like, these spots are huge and angry, so please ignore them. I'm sorry that they're there, but we all get them. It feels really nice, it feels hydrating. I think I used about the right amount for me, but yeah, it's given a really good glow. I'm not mad at it, I'm just not used to it. Now on to foundation, and I am way behind the trend. This is the Be Perfect Chroma Cover Matte Foundation, which is the original, which shows how long I've had it because when I bought this, the new one wasn't out, and I think I got the wrong shade. I ordered this off TikTok Shop. And I ordered the shade N1 because it's neutral and I think I have a neutral undertone. Even though I sometimes look quite pink, my neck isn't, so I try and match it to my neck. Yeah. It comes on a pump. We're going to ignore the shade because it is 100% wrong. It's definitely too light. I'm hoping I can bronze it up. Let's hope. I do have a bronzer to test. And actually I have a cream bronzer I can test. I will get that in a minute. I'm just going to pump it onto my sponge. I have completely lost patience and I'm just going to take it out of the tube. It's a bit light. But okay, I'm just going to put some on my face because I don't have the patience to wait. That's probably way too much now. Oh, and I've made a mess. I will eventually work the pump out and figure it out and get it pumping, but for right now, this will do. It's very light. I'm just going to use my sponge. I might do half my face with a sponge, half my face with a brush. A few things. So first of all, it is obviously too light. I know I've sped up the footage, but you can probably still see me sort of chuckling away at myself at how ridiculous I look. In terms of brush versus sponge, I do like it with a sponge. I also like it with a brush. It's a lot quicker with a brush. But I just go over and pat with my sponge anyway just to make sure that there's no sort of like streaks or anything. It's very full coverage. I think it would look a lot better, like a lot better if I'd used less of it. It's very matte, it's very thick. It sort of feels a little bit like a mask on my face, which 5 years ago I would have absolutely loved. Now, not so much. But I do think it looks nice. I was worried about it looking super dry, and I'll be honest, it kind of does, but it's not looking horrendous on my skin. I've even had to put this like over my eyelids, which I don't normally do because I don't normally like having foundation on my eyelids, but it was just a completely different colour to my skin. I don't think it's too bad. I even think the colour match would be slightly better if I used less of it. And it is very, very, very full coverage. Like the spots on my jaw that were very angry, you can obviously still see them because they're still there, but colour wise, completely neutralised. Now I have a cream blush and a cream bronzer, although it's technically a cream contour to test. I'm going to use the cream bronzer first. So this is the KIKO Sculpting Touch Creamy Stick Contour. I will say, I've never really tried much from KIKO. I have an eyeshadow, like a single eyeshadow from them, that I absolutely love and I use it all the time. But in terms of base products, I've never tested anything. So this is in the shade 200. It's quite cool toned from what I remember. Yeah, it's very cool toned. It's sort of a twist up stick. Like I said, quite cool toned. I'm going to go in with this on a brush and not draw lines on my face because I think that is sensible. So, what brush to use is the question. Right, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go in with this. It's probably not the perfect brush because this is the BU Beauty highlight brush. This is very kindly sent to me. It's not perfect. I would prefer something a bit more dense, but I think this will work. So I'm just going to swirl it around on the end of the stick. And hopefully it'll pick up enough product. I think it has. And then I'm going to go in with very small patting swirly motions on my face. So we'll start so you can see it. Okay, I actually really like that. It goes on really, really easily. It's actually very, very pale and it is cool toned, which is what I was going for. I wanted more of a contour because I don't really have many contours in my collection at all. And if I'm going to do contour, I would rather do a cream contour and then a powder bronze. And actually I think this works really, really nicely. I obviously went in with a light hand and built it up, and I do think it is buildable and it has built very nicely, which is really, really good. I don't think I would ever go in with it just drawing lines on my face because I think that would be too much. I have used it along my nose and under my lip, which is what I would normally do with a powder contour, so I like that it works for that. I actually think it looks really nice. I don't think it's come out too orangey. I actually think it's given a really nice shade, and like I said, it's blended nicely. It's the right sort of colour. It's perfect. It's really, really good. Next up for cream blush, we have the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Blush in the shade Maui, M-A-U-I. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but let's give this a go. I have tried the cream putty bronzer, and I do have one of the like non-luminous ones, but it's a bit of an orangey shade, so I can't really use that. So this is the shade. I'm just gonna give it a swatch. Ooh, it's really nice. It's like a rosy pink, like a dusty rosy pink. I think that looks really nice. Not sure what I'm doing on the eyes yet, and I probably should have started with the eyes. I've only just realised that. Oh well. So we'll go in with this then. I'm just gonna again just sort of take some on my brush, and again small patting motions all over my cheeks pretty much. It's a lot more subtle than I was expecting it to be, but I do really like the shade. As much as it's a luminous blush and it definitely does have some luminosity, you can definitely see that. I don't think it's too much. I will say it has taken off the foundation on the end of my nose, but currently every time I use a cream blush on my nose it seems to be doing that. So maybe it's me and not the blush. I do think I would prefer it if it had a little bit more pigment to it. I also think on my skin tone it's coming across as a baby pink, which isn't what I was going for, but it does still look nice. I do think it is pretty. It's not going to become my new go-to cream blush, but if I want this sort of a shade, it's probably the only one I have, so I probably will still use it. And e.l.f. is really, really inexpensive. Highly recommend e.l.f. I do like this product. It does work well. It's not doing anything wrong. It's just not what I would go for, which is fine. Still works well. Still a very good product. Maybe I should just pick it up in some of the shades. Now I have a cream highlight to test. which kind of scares me because I don't normally go for cream highlights and it's expensive. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Beauty Light Wand Easy Highlight Illuminate, whatever, in the shade Spotlight. Now this belonged to my friend and she spent a lot of money on it. Thanks. It didn't work for her, so I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to just test it out on the back of my hand. Okay, that's what it looks like. It actually looks really, really pretty. I'm going to try this out now, and then if I can't see it after I've powdered, I will test a little bit of it after I've powdered. But let's just give this a go as it is. I'm just going to pat it out with my finger, which I never normally do. I hate putting makeup on my fingers, but I will just pat it out. That actually looks quite nice. I'm starting to look like a Neapolitan ice cream. Okay, I don't really know how I feel about it. It is very pretty, and I don't think the shade is wrong for me. I actually think it's quite nice on me. And it does definitely have like a goldeny, champagne-y look to it, which I do really like, and it's quite hard to find ones that work for pale skin, so I'm happy about that. I don't know how well it's going to work when it powders down. Also, it feels quite thick. I don't know why. I was expecting it to be a bit thinner, but it is a little bit thick. What I'm going to do now is go off camera. I'm going to put a tiny bit of concealer on because honestly this foundation doesn't need it, but I'm going to put a little bit on, and then I'm going to powder down. And I'm going to do powder, blush, bronzer and highlight because I don't have those to test. And then we'll move on to the eyes. I thought I'd do a little bit of a check-in just before we start on the eyes. I have powdered down, I've used blush and bronzer. So my bronzer is the Revolution Pro Sculpting Bronzer in Bahia. And my blush is the Doll Beauty Pretty Fly Blush in the shade Dollar Day. I'll just show you the shade so you can sort of see what I used. It's pink. It kind of matches the e.l.f. blush pretty well, because it's also a shimmery blush. So yeah, so I've done that. All of the products underneath were looking fine. My powder was the Barry M Ready Set Smooth in Translucent, and I will say everything powdered down absolutely fine. My skin does look a little bit dry. I do have creasing under my eyes. That always happens. I'm 25. My skin no longer looks like a child's. Yeah, everything looks really good. My nose does look a little bit weird just from where the blush took the foundation off it. But other than that, it's fine. Can you still see? You can still see the highlight, you know, it's still going strong. So I'm actually not going to put any more of this on because I don't want to ruin my base. I'm also not going to put on a powder highlight because I think it looks absolutely fine. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how all of those base products are working together. Yeah, I think I would use all of them again, to be honest. I think my favourite one by far is the KIKO stick thing. I really quite like that. Now, let's zoom you in. I'm also going to put on an eye base because I don't have a new one to test. It'll just be the Beauty Bay eye base in shade 2. And we will do one eye on camera, one eye off camera, because I think that's the quickest way of doing things. But I will zoom you in. Okay, eye base is on. Ow. We're using the Made by Mitchell Head in the Clouds palette, and I did just hit myself in the head with it. Now, I, again, am way behind the trend. I never tested this when it came out, but I always wanted it, and I got it on Mitchell's TikTok shop quite a while ago, to be honest, and never used it. Here it is. I have swatched it, as you can see. I will do some swatches for you now. I'm going to try and pick some shades that I'm actually not going to use today. Okay, so shades I'm not really going to use today. I'm going to do 2 shimmers and 2 mattes. The 2 shimmers I'm not going to use today is going to be this one here called Eclipse, which is bluey purple. Ooh. It's also got a bit of purple in there. And then this one here called Twinkle, which are probably my 2 favourite shimmers, but I'm probably not going to use those today. Probably will in the future. And then 2 mattes. I'm going to go for Sunburn, which is a bright coral orange, absolutely stunning. And then I'm also going to go for, let's go for a dark shade. Let's go for this one down here called Night Shift. Right in the bottom. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's swatch it. Oh, I've got a bit of highlight on the back of my hand. Let's swatch these. Do it together. Wow. Wow. Look at that one. Wow. I've never actually used Mitchel's eyeshadows before. I do also have his Mangoes palette. I can't remember what the actual name of it is. But I'm very impressed. Right, so we're going to start with the dark blue on the outer corner. So I'm going to start with the shade Midnight, this one here, the darkest blue. And that's going on my outer corner. Okay, that actually took quite a lot of packing on just to get the colour on there. I will say it is a dark purpley blue. They are a little bit more difficult to formulate from what I've heard. Obviously I've never formulated a palette so I wouldn't know. But that's what it's looking like right now. Yeah, it's gone on nicely, it just took a bit of work to get there. Now on the inner portion of my eye, I'm going to start with the shade Doris Day, which is the grey in the middle. I personally love grey eyeshadow. I think that they look really nice on me because I have grey eyes. I don't know if you knew that. Although my boyfriend told me this weekend that he thinks my eyes are green, and I've never heard that before in my life. But grey eyes, I think grey looks really nice with them. That shade packed on a lot, like so much better, but I do now have fallout which I have to try and get rid of without ruining my base. But that actually went on really nicely. That's really cheered me up that that shade went on really well. Now we're going to focus on that outer side and we're going to make it blue. So the next shade I'm going in with is this shade here called Cockpit. Beautiful, beautiful teal blue colour. Again, that shade's gone on absolutely beautifully. I'm not quite sure of it next to that Midnight shade. In the pan, Midnight looks a lot more blue, but on my eyes it looks a bit more purple, which is fine because the colours have actually blended together beautifully. That shade Cockpit is stunning. I actually really, really like it. It's shocker really. It's a greeny blue. It's my go-to really. And now I'm just going to finish up the outer corner with one more shade. I just need to find the right brush for it. And the final shade I'm going to use is actually the one I just pointed to. It's this one here called Bora Blue. It's in like Bora Bora. Probably the colour of the sea out there. Again, gone on beautifully. Those three shades will need reblending and I'll do that at the end. But for right now, I'm very, very happy. Now on the inner corner, I know I started with the grey and that's what I wanted. I'm actually going to blend it out with yellows and see how that goes. Mainly just because I quite like yellow eyeshadow. I want to see how he's formulated his yellow eyeshadow. This is the shade I'm going to go for, called UF Ho. Each to their own. That took a few more dips into the pan to get it to the pigment I wanted, but given that it's going over a grey and it is a yellow, I'm not that surprised and I'm not that disappointed by it. It actually came out really, really nice. I think because the grey might have a little bit of blue in it, it is looking a little bit green, but that's fine. The last shade I'm going to go in with for now is Banana Skies, which is the palest yellow. And again, just going to use that to blend it out. There we go, that's all it really needs. You can't even really see it just because of how pale it is, but that's fine. What I'm going to do now is go through both blends on both sides and re-blend and re-intensify all of the colours. The blending actually went really easily, particularly on the blue side. The yellow and grey side was a bit more difficult, but granted, yellow and grey aren't really designed to be mixed together, so it would make sense for them to be a little bit more difficult. But I think overall, blending on both sides was very easy. The colours do blend really, really well together. I can't get over how much I am enjoying these blues, to be honest. I'm really, really liking them. I think they work beautifully. And overall, I'm pretty happy with how this is going. I know that it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. It is what it is. I really quite like it. Now for a shimmer, and surprise, surprise, I cannot be bothered to cut the crease. So I'm just going to go in with a shimmer. And I think I'm going to throw in another colour here and actually go for this one down here called Pink Eye. I'm also going to go in with a little bit of Better, oh, you can't even see it. I'm going to go in with this one down here called Pink Eye, and a little bit of this Better Days one. I think I'm going to start with Better Days on the inner corner and then bring it out into Pink Eye. Never a sentence I thought I would say, but let's see how it goes. Those shimmers work really well. I have managed to almost create like a faux cut crease just by packing them on really heavily. The pink is a bit lighter than I was expecting it to, and I think it has a little light blue shift in there as well. The yellow works really nicely. I even packed over a little bit more of that dark blue on the outer corner just so it blended a bit better. Overall, I know this eye look isn't for everyone, and realistically I've only done something like this to test as many shades as possible, and I have tested 8 shades now, so that's pretty good going. I actually really like the eye look. I think it's come out really nicely. The blend is so pretty. I can't get over how well it all blended together. It's really, really nice. And overall, I'm pretty happy with it. What I'm going to do now is go off camera. When we come back, and I'm going to do the other eye, obviously. When I come back, we do have mascara to test, some eyeliner pencils, an eyeliner. Ooh, I actually have a liquid glitter to test, which I'd forgotten about. But it is yellow. It's the shade Golden Goddess by STILA, and it's one of their glittering glows. And actually, I can just pat it over that yellow shade that I've used, so why not? This is what it looks like. Absolutely stunning. That's really, really pretty. I don't know how we can see it. I've patted it over the yellow and just sort of brought it ever so slightly over the pink as well. But that's just added a really nice bit of glitter. It's just like a wash of glitter, really. I don't know how well you can see it. I've got creasing on my other eye. But it is just so stunning. Right, now I will go off camera, catch up the other eye, and then we'll do everything else when we get back. See you in a moment. Both eyes are done, and I'll be honest, I'm incredibly happy with how they've turned out. Now we're going to finish up everything else. We're going to start with brows. I am going to do my lower lash line, but I haven't decided what I'm doing with it yet. So we're going to do brows first. And I actually have the Effys brow pencil in the shade medium. My hair is not a medium. I dye it blonde so that it is never a medium. But the top of my hair, my roots, could be medium. So we're going to give this a go. I think this came in one of the advent calendars, either Glossy Box or I don't know what other. I did ASOS, maybe it came in that. I honestly don't remember. I can't get into it. And honestly, if this doesn't work for me, I'll just give it to my friend who has darker hair than me. Okay, I finally got it out of the box. I wasn't expecting it to be this colour. My hand is very heavily swatched, so I'm just going to put it up here. Okay, it is a brown. I thought it would be grey based on the colour of the pencil, but it's definitely brown. It might be a bit too dark for me. I will give it a go. It looks quite cool toned, which is good. I've just realised how much fallout I have all over my face. I don't think that's too bad. I will say it is very cool toned. It almost does look a little bit grey on my skin. It doesn't look it on camera though, which is fine. It's very pigmented and very creamy. It comes out on your skin very, very easily. It was very pointed. It is starting to dull down, and it's not a sharpenable one, it's a retractable one, so you can't really sharpen it, but it does give you super fine, almost hair-like strokes if that's what you're going for. Yeah, I actually don't think it's that bad. It does match my brow hairs quite well, and my brow hairs are quite cool toned brown, so I don't think it's a bad shade match for me actually, if I was going to match my brow hairs as opposed to my actual hair, because I do think my actual hair is a touch warmer than my brow hairs, which is a bit annoying. But I actually don't mind it. It's actually a really good pencil. Might take a little bit of getting used to, just because it is so pigmented and so creamy. But overall, I don't think it's bad. My brows always look terrible, so we're just going to ignore it. I don't have a brow gel, so I'm not going to do brow gel. I think I will finish up my lower lash line, and I'm going to make it pink. Because I've got pink on my lid, I've got pink blush, and then I can go with a pink lip. So very easy. I'm just going to put this shade here called Night Nympho, and this shade here, this is very bright pink. There's not really another pink I can use to blend that out, so I'm just going to go with that one there. It's called Lucid. See how it goes. I won't use a lot of either of them, just a little bit. I think that's all it really needs. I don't want to use too much of the shade Lucid just because it's so pale pink and almost like lilac-y. But that first shade, Night Nympho, absolutely stunning. Opinions on the palette, really like it. I will say the colour scheme is a bit all over the place for me, but I still quite like it. I can still see plenty of looks I can do with this. There is also tons of neutrals in here. There's a lot of browns that you can use for more everyday looks. But overall, very happy with this palette. It's very pigmented, it blends easily. Everything you could want in an eyeshadow palette. Now what I'm going to do is very quickly use some setting spray, and we have the Beauty Crop Glow Milk, and I'm going to test how much staying power it has. So I'm actually just going to take 2 shades from the palette. I'm going to take Night Nympho, which we just used on the lower lash line, and the shade Soda Skies, which is the purple shimmer, which we haven't actually looked at yet. I'm going to put these on the back of this hand. There's 1, there's 2, and then I'm going to spray the setting spray on it to see if it actually gives it some staying power or if it's just to give hydration. So just gonna let that dry. Whilst it's drying, I'm going to spray some on my face. It smells very perfumey. It has quite a strong mister, but that's fine. And then we'll just let this dry for a moment or two. While I'm doing that, I will pick which one of these I'm going to use. These are the Beauty Bay eyeliner crayons. I have the Pastels Trio and the Metallic Quad. So I think I'm going to go for the gold. Why not? I'm going to cut this bit out of the video because I don't like watching people put stuff in their waterline. I imagine I'm not the only person out there, so I'll just cut it out of the video. I'm back, and that actually worked so nicely. It's definitely metallic. I sort of thought it would just be like a brown, but it definitely has shimmer running through it. I actually think these would be really nice for doing like a graphic liner. They look really stunning. I might keep all of them. But now let's test the eyeshadow. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a clean finger, which I don't have many of. I think this is my cleanest one. I'm going to take a clean finger and just rub at them and see if they stay on. They do not. My finger is no longer clean and they have smudged on my hands, which is fine. It just means that that setting spray, the Glow Milk, is just to add hydration, which is absolutely fine. And to be fair, they haven't completely rubbed away, so they still do partially work, which is all good. Now we're going to try a new mascara. We have a Bobbi Brown. This is a mini in the black, and it's a smoky eye mascara. I was going to do lashes today, but I feel like this video is getting quite long, so I'm going to skip it. But I will talk about the lashes because I have already tried a different pair. This is the brush. It is natural bristles, but they are very, very short. They might even be plastic, I can't really tell. But we'll give this a go. It's sort of a conical shape, which I like, so it should go well. Let's see. That is really, really nice. I'm having such a good time at testing mascaras right now. I tested the 2W7 ones last week. Really like those. Really like this. Because of the bristles, it really does grab onto every single lash you have and coat them in black. I don't think it does much for volume, but if you watch my videos you'll know that I prefer length and separation, and I think it does that quite well. It looks really nice on the eyes. Yeah. This might become my new everyday mascara, and I feel like I've said that a lot recently because every mascara I've tested has been pretty good. Like I said, I'm not going to do lashes because A, I can't be bothered, and B, this video is getting quite long, but these are the Charlie Betty Beauty Imelda lashes. These are very kindly sent to me. I've done a fair bit of work with Charlie Betty Beauty. I've been sent most of their products at this point, and they sent me these lashes. They do have 3 other styles that I've tested one other pair, and they're like a half lash. Absolutely love them. Cannot remember the name of them though. But these are really nice. I haven't tested these ones, but the ones I have tested have been absolutely lovely. Really lightweight on the eyes. These ones look stunning. I just can't be bothered to put on lashes. But thank you, Charlie Betty Beauty, for sending these over to me. Now I need to go and actually pick a lip because I haven't got one out to test. So yeah, I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm back, and I'm just going to go for one of these. I actually picked these up while I was at home quite a while ago now, probably around Christmas time. This is the Too Faced Melted in Paris Melted Lipstick Must-Have Sets. There are 4 minis in here of the Melted Matte formula that I've never tried. I've never tried the formula. So we have the shades from top to bottom: My Type, Bottomless, Gingerbread Man and Lady Balls. Now, because of the eye look, I think I'm going to go for the pink one called Bottomless. I really like that colour for a start. I think it looks quite nice with the eyes. I could have gone pinker because the lower lash line is so pink, but I actually really like that shade on me. It's quite an everyday shade for me. The formula is quite nice. It feels, it's not too dry. I thought this formula was going to be really dry just because this is a formula that was really popular when matte liquid lipsticks were the rage, and formulas from that time generally tend to be very dry because at the time that's what we wanted. But it's actually quite comfortable. I can feel it drying down, I can feel it on my lips. But I wouldn't complain about this if I had it on all day. Hopefully it lasts pretty well because I actually quite like it. I will definitely give the other shades a test as well because I think the nude, My Type, this one, looks really nice. I also really like an orange lip, and if I'm going for a red lipstick, I want something that's going to last all day. So hopefully I enjoy this formula and I can use them. I actually love the colour. I'm looking at myself in my monitor. Really love the colour. But there we go. That is my full face testing makeup. I'm not going to run through my thoughts and feelings on everything because I've done that throughout the video. I think I look alright. I really like the eye look. Really like it. I know it's not for everybody, and it is plainly just for testing a bunch of shades. I've tested 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shades on my eyes out of what, 15? No, there's more than 15 shades in here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Out of 25 shades, I've tested, what did I say, 10? I can't remember anymore. Not bad going. Overall, I'm very happy with how I look. I'm just going to give myself a once over. I'm not mad at how I look. I would happily leave the house like this. I'm not going to because it's a Sunday and I have no plans, but I would leave the house like this. I'm very happy with it. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what products you liked best. Let me know which products you didn't like. I think my top products are going to be the eyeshadow palette, the eyeliner pencil, and the KIKO contour stick. Least favourite, I don't think there really was anything that bad. Oh, I really like the mascara as well actually, and the lip product. I don't think there was anything that was terrible. There's nothing that I'm like, I'm never going to use that again. So overall, not bad. Not a bad video. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. I put up one video a week and it's all makeup content, so if that sounds like the type of thing, then this is the place for you. But other than that, I will let you go. Have a great day and an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!